has, about the same amount of, if you add up all the players, about the same amount of, measured Pro League experience as Noble, and that's with Elephant Gang missing the last season.
Well, we'll see how the operator bans go with this one. Lion will be the first one taken out, as Egang will get the second ban here for the attacking side. It'll be a Dokkaebi, will it be the Glass? And it'll be the Glass. There you go. So it means quite possibly a Mira and an Echo ban on the defense, which would not surprise any human being on this planet and in this galaxy, quite probably.
Are there human beings in other parts of the galaxy?
Hey man, statistically speaking, it's very possible.
All right. Echo banned out, and there you go.
Let's be honest, Space Station are probably from another planet.
All right. They're from another planet. Right.
Okay. Echo and Maestro banned. Interesting. I like this.
So that's a lot of the indirect denial for the defense just gone.
Here's the big thing, though. Maverick not banned.
Yeah.
Hard Breacher removed.
That's going to be a lot of options for the attack. I have to say, if I'm looking at this, this is definitely going to be an attacker-sided ban phase. Maestro and Echo, two very powerful tools that are gone. Lion and Glaz, of course, also powerful tools that are gone. But those are foregone conclusions. I mean, technically speaking, I guess one of the Echo Maestro, one of them's going to be definitely gone. But yeah. Lion and Glaz expected. And there's still plenty of tools available for the attacking team. As much as you have Mira in play for defense, and interestingly, actually going to be 6 picked out of by ZZ. That's kind of an odd change. So it's going to be the basement here for Noble. And of course, I don't believe we've updated the roster sheet yet. It was incorrect.
Playing on the team for like the past month.
Yeah, so it's worth noting that it's not heavy. It's easy.
Yeah.
We don't know as whatever. He's been playing.
Yes.
For Noble.
He's here
for a long time.
He's alive. Now. He's doing it.
Yeah, and not on the roster though. Anyway, so basement defense here on Clubhouse. Definitely a sensible site to start off on, but again, you touched on it. The hard destructors are, well, aplenty. You can pick any of them, and 2 will be being brought. Thermite and Habana. Makes sense.
Yeah, the Yeti, of course, bringing the Pulse. It gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of, hey, do you want to snipe one of the opponent's important operators from the bottom floor? Do you want to do it where you play close up to the hallway with an unreinforced side? There's quite a few options that you can play with the Pulse. Even set them on Church if there's a late round attack where a walk-in from Moto can definitely be shut down with a quick and easy C4, and at least information can be carried through. Ghost coming in and immediately clearing the top floor by Server and Cash. I like this. Cash has always been in a strong position, and here, the fact that the Vigil is in play, it's even more important to clear that out. There you go. Everything from the top floor will get spotted, and the kitchen even being held here from the top of the logistics office. Ghost is swinging around, and we'll go for the drown.
So slow going so far from Elephant Gang. I have to imagine that the initial fight is going to have a lot to do with how this match turns out, because these teams, high pressure here, and haven't really met each other in a while, obviously being separated by leagues, but this is the moment for Elephant Gang to shine, and on the other hand, this is Noble's moment to show up, as they haven't been throughout the season.
One thing oh no, the C4, there you go. We're just talking about it, and that's the important operator taken away. That's the buck. Now, one thing I want to ask Marcio, Marcio, can we check out ZZ for just a second, see what equipment he's running? He's running the bulletproof camera. There you go. No Mira, but instead of having the impact, he's going to play more on the site and play around it. The bulletproof camera will give a lot of information if smokes will be in play for Egang.
Yeah, so that's a really, I think, a sensible operator selection. On this site especially, Mira's useful, but she can hurt the attack coming from Church Wall, but I honestly think playing more dynamic on the basement is definitely better. And having a fully reinforced Church Wall allows you that dynamic play. Trippin with a double kill at the bottom of the main stairs, though. Yeti and ZZ a little too aggressive there, trying to push their way up. Speaking of aggression, Breezy onto K9 just by the Moto drop. Acid is attempting to hold on to Blue at a very long angle, but he's being challenged, and that's Ghost all the way down there with Zofia. Smoke canisters coming out from Breezy in an attempt to deny the push-in through Moto, and he will be successful, but from the side, he's taking damage from Ghost. Somehow not finished off, but left on 25 HP. Not a great situation, and as he rotates, Trippin pushes in. The refrag is there for Crazy, though, because Trippin does not check the corner, and there's only 5 seconds left in this 2 versus 2. Crazy, the playmaker, as he holds out the sight against the 3, he will very narrowly miss the triple kill. But the clock manages to lock things out there, and the defense take round number 1.
It's just the one player sitting on the side. You have the hard breachers, open up the church wall and walk in.
The crazy thing to me, sorry, the weird thing to me is that nobody checked for Crazy in that corner.
Yeah, after he got a first kill.
Yeah.
Where's the response?
And even then, before, he shouldn't have been allowed to get
100%.
the first kill because nobody cleared default corner. Behind the minibar and by black box inside of church is the standard anchor position on that site, and not one of the attackers was checking it. There were even melee holes made in the minibar. I'm so confused as to why it was left unaccounted for. And well, Crazy made the best of it, and he won the round for his team. So we go to Cash as the next defense for Noble.
All right, well, we'll see if Cash is a repeat, basically, of that first round. The Mute will be brought up, as usually it's either the Mute or the Bandit. Some teams will play both. Reinforcements down in the garage, nothing out of the ordinary. Acid as well, setting up a Mute Jammer by the top of the stairs here in Garage. It's running a bit more complicated for the attackers, and this screams to me Yeti will play in Garage and try to deny entrance from there. There's quite a bit that he can do from it, especially having the ACOG. Now, one thing, okay, first of all, he sets up a bulletproof camera to watch through the potentially open wall later on in the round, but also he can play the Garage in a deceptively effective manner. Here's the thing. Try to push Garage and you're walking in from the kennels. A lot of times as an attacker, you won't realize how big of an angle the defenders have when they're watching all the way through there. There's just, it's such a huge angle that until you play that position yourself, you don't really realize how huge of an angle it is that is played against you. But early on, K9 will set in up top and will open a hole all the way down, so we'll have some sort of angle and potential rotations from the Garage. But right now, taking their time, and Egang will just start walking in and clearing out as much of the site as possible. Again, or as much of the bedroom as possible. Thermite and Habana in play.
So, slow take in from Master, but the utility is abundant for the attack. Interesting, we've got an impact prep for the construction wall, but we've also got a halfway reinforced wall. So we've seen this before. Curious decision for the defense, but one that can work.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on it, but you know, we'll see how effective it is. It really is a very reactive way of playing the site, I guess.
or ZZ, C4 from below onto Avian. Well placed, and that's Habana gone. So half of the hard destruction eliminated, but more importantly, I think at this point, just a kill, to be honest. Onto anyone would be nice. There's a little utility play to go around on this last site. The defense is starting to lock down on the construction push. This is what makes construction push so difficult. We see it a lot, but it's just a bit of a bottleneck. In the bottleneck, though, Ghost will take down Acid, so that's -1 C4 for the defense. ZZ, having already expended his, will continue to play downstairs in an attempt to deny the doorway using the drop down. Breezy missing his shot onto the buck will fall off the angle towards that server window and will try to play the utility instead, opening up, or sorry, denying the doorway into Cash. Good utility usage, but it might be a little too early. Yeti, an excellent shot, and will run out, destroy the Claymore, and then go for a follow-up. Misses those, though, and Ghost will be allowed to take down ZZ as a result. Neptunes and Ghost both inside of Cash, but Breezy will take down one, and Yeti gets the other. A nice collapse there from Noble, setting up a trap inside of Cash, and collapsing as a unit.
Commendations to Yeti here, being able to play so excellently, finding the shot on the Thatcher, and then coming out for even more damage to be relayed on the attackers as they're walking in to the side. The thing is, Egang had already opened up the entry into the servers. They had 2 angles to push in from. Unfortunately, they were 1 man down, which didn't help their push. And on top of that, they weren't expecting the Doc to just jump in and engage them that fast. Thatcher had no clue what was going on there. There was a lot of time denial being used with the C4s, with the smokes, but I have to say, the fact that that wall is half reinforced from between construction and Cash, I think it's a bit more of a mental game as well. Now, I'd love to pick the brains of some of the players that are using this strategy, but specifically for me, I see it as a way to lull the attackers into a false sense of security, where they're like, you know what, we don't even have to worry about breaching into this. We can just, you know, open it with our buck or with whatever we have. Well, you can, but it just sets up for the defenders to be able to play against you, and it puts you in a tunnel vision position for the attackers, that is. Maybe I'm digging too deep into the psychology of Siege and a half reinforced wall, but hey, who knows? I'd love to hear it.
I think honestly it is just leaving an opportunity available to your opponents. I think it's something that can be locked out, and it's not being locked out. It's curious, but it worked out for Noble. I think that a big part of that also has to do with how Noble set up Cash Room as a trap. You know, they very much wanted Elephant Gang to push into Cash. There was nobody from Noble playing in Cash. They were waiting for that push to happen. They had C4s, gas canisters, players just waiting for that exact push. And once it came out, collapse from Noble and a massacre. So it was probably just Noble playing into that little trap mentality, and it worked out. Now, going on to a gym defense, because Noble's been successful on their 2 standard go-to sites, basement and Cash Room, they will have to go to their 3rd. And it's already a pretty good start here. It's crazy. We'll take down Neptunes, and Breezy takes out Trippin.
What are you doing, Egang? Why are you dropping into logistics office like that? Always take Cash first, then think about coming in. You notice that Cash is not clear. You notice that construction is still uncontested. Holding an angle won't win you the fight, and definitely not dropping right into the site, expecting for it to work miracles for you. That's not how it works.
And ZZ will eliminate Ghost playing on the window, so it's a complete shutout here from Noble. 2 versus 5. Yeti's looking to make that a 1 versus 5, but he'll miss his shots. Still, though, he gets away scot-free, and now K9 has to pay attention to that server window for the rest of the round. Yeah,
it's just Noble at the helm, in control, and there's nothing that Egang are able to do. And this is when we say this map is mostly defender-sided, this is why. This is how it should be turning out, but a lot of times attackers are able to find certain holes to play through, but it's just, I guess, the Pro League experience when, well, that won't help ZZ in this one as he'll go down, but still 4v2, an advantage for Noble, 1 minute and 8 seconds on the clock, a ton of time to be played for our Regal team here, as Yeti is still in Cash, and he can pounce at any moment in time. Still a bulletproof camera that is set up in the gym, which will monitor Avian's every single move as he finally takes down that default camera. The peak, and Yeti will win it! Still at half health, K9 will go down. And Avian, well, he's going to send Bandit flying here as Breezy will go down. But he's at half health and will have to walk into the A site. Crazy is ready from construction and destroys Avian there, hitting the head right on the beak. Honestly, 2 players dropping into logistics office without clearing Cash, without clearing construction. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was just a waste of life there for Elephant Gang. And Noble took full advantage. Following that, We saw the pressure being applied rather from the north windows, but there was so little. I mean, just you lost all the manpower, and now you're trying to do something that is heavy reliant on manpower, which is applying that pressure, as I discussed. You just don't have the tools anymore. They're gone. They died. You know, that was a curious round for Elephant Gang, and a complete shutout. Great job to Noble. They will go back to the basement, full circle on the site selection in terms of having won every single defense. They really don't have a choice as to where they go, unless you count Bar's choice, which I don't think anybody really does.
Yeah, I mean, this is a point where having a lot of choices doesn't really help you.
Yeah.
The illusion of choice.
Remember when Bar was the site to go to? Not so much anymore.
Was it really ever a site? Well,
it was the number 2 site because the other sites were just
cash and bedroom.
trash.
They were atrocious. Yeah.
Yeah. That one little connector, man, solved so many problems.
Yeah, and well, in the meantime, it did give bedroom and cash such a huge overall that nobody really wants to play Bar anymore, and Glaz gets banned quite a bit, which means attackers, don't use the usual Monty plus Glaz. It's very interesting to see how small changes in the map completely change how it's being played, but you then add to that operator bans that will compound the changes. It's just, it's a very, to use a very overused caster term, very interesting.
All right. Basement defense once more. The last time we saw the attack come out, the thing that ultimately allowed Noble to win the round was that they didn't see Crazy in the standard hold position of minibar inside of church.
Yeah.
They pushed 3 people into church. Nobody checked the bar. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I think they are going to make that mistake a second time. It's my guess. But it's, there's other layers to the defense. And it's always a problem where you'll focus on correcting one mistake you made in the previous round, and you'll forget about all the other things that can go wrong. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Elephant Gang.
Yeti setting up here. An interesting thing in that very first round, we saw the 2-man push with a Pulse. Pulse plus the Vigil, trying to land the kills.
Yeah.
But then they were both killed by the Thermite very easily because for some reason there was just no angle being held, the Vigil wasn't ready for it, information wasn't relayed, whatever it was. It ended up a double kill that should not have happened. And even with that, Crazy had the perfect position with nobody really calling it out or trying to deal with it from Egang's side. And that was basically a free round that was given there at the end. Now information gathering here on the drone. Some utility will get shut down. Avian will continue to drone through into blue and is completely clear. So there is a possibility to walk in from the blue stairs that obviously are such a strong position for the attackers. And Ghost will already be moving from the oil pit to walk closer and closer towards it as ZZ will try to engage long range of the MP5. It's definitely not, or the M5K specifically there. It's definitely not a great weapon to use at range, but hey, one-shot headshots and they can definitely do the damage. The interesting part is that the Twitch is finally being played, which is not usually a thing.
K9 really likes playing Twitch.
All right. Well, and yeah, he makes it happen. Yeti will go down, and he finds the kill, the F2. You see there's a bulletproof camera all the way on the other side of the hallway watching from the armory as Breezy sets up yet again here. He waddles through his smoke, and he finds the kill. Falls back and still has teammates to play around. Crazy will get one more on Neptunes as they'll try to walk in from blue here, Elephant Gang. And here the announcer, there's 10 seconds on the clock. They have to walk in. More damage being done to Avian, but Crazy will find the headshot. Kano will go down, and ZZ finds the last 2 on the Birdman and Ghost. Spooky plays there from Noble, but this is definitely putting the spooks on the E-Gang. And here it's maybe not the mice that are scaring the elephant.
Yeah, definitely a pretty one-sided match so far for Noble. And, I mean, that's all there is to say about it,
Yeah.
I suppose. Elephant Gang, when they tried to come in there, I mean, it's a standard Moto blue take. They put a little bit more emphasis on blue than they had in the past, less emphasis on Moto. But once more, Crazy playing minibar, and he was actually attended to, though K9 did not win his fight. So no double up inside of Church. No one else pushing with K9 out of Moto meant there was no refrag, which meant there was no site control, which meant there was no diffuser plant, and you get where I'm going with this. So, a nice hold there, again, for Noble. Their last defense will be on Cash. Again, having won every single defense thus far, they really don't have much choice in their site selection. Again, they could go to Bar, but they're not going to. Why would they? Overall, Elephant Gang have been kind of stopped at every turn. And, you know, this calls into question. Is this right here an example of a Challenger League team playing against a Pro League team?
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, oh, but Noble, but
yes,
look at them.
Because, you know, Noble, let's be honest, Noble had a really bad season.
Yes.
They played terribly. But right now, with 4-0, it's looking like the caliber of play is just different. And that's the curious thing. You know, Elephant Gang, we've talked about it again. I'll talk about it once more. Elephant Gang has a lot of experienced Pro League players on their roster. This is not some Challenger League players that have never been at this level of play. You know, Avian and K9 both played in Pro League for a long time. I mean, overall, lots of experience, right? But it's not shining through here. Maybe it comes back to what we were talking about earlier, which was the getting tired after playing their first match.
Definitely.
Whatever the case, it's looking rough right now.
It might be a combination of them just being tired, but also really not being mentally prepared after that last game.
Yeah, they seemed like they wanted to win the first. I mean, obviously they wanted to win the first game. Duh. But it seemed like they weren't equipped to lose it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Maybe it's the pressure, social media, I guess, that puts on it when there's so much hype behind you. It's possible.
Also, they did play Clubhouse just the previous match. Like, they ended... The Elephant Gang Accelerate match ended on Clubhouse. And then, what was it, 20 minutes later, you're playing Clubhouse again? That's... it's rough. And you know, Elephant Gang lost that. They lost on Clubhouse. That's why they're in this match right now. Well, here we go. I mean, whatever the case, their second attempt is not looking so great on this map.
Yeah, 100%. Noble, if they can get that 5-0, would definitely be a huge advantage for them. Minute 18 on the clock, and Egang are at least looking pretty, having opened up the site here. But you don't want to rely on late round fights. Oh no, the twitch of K9 running right in front of ZZ. Can't land that shot there, but that was too close for comfort, I have to say. And ZZ taking a lot of damage in the engagement. What Noble have to do is at least stay alive until the final push from Egang. The numbers advantage here would be huge for the defense, as Yeti will put ZZ back on full health. And there you go, the struggles of your Dockman, always trying to keep your teammates up and ready to receive some of their meds. Ghost will get one kill here, eliminating the smoke. That is a huge pick. This might really open things up for Egang. And that's what we were talking about before. Why no Ying? Well, still wouldn't work. Neptunes will go down. And the Habana had already rushed in. K9 will take a lot of damage. The Habana trying to plant in as Ghost will get yet another one. 4v3, but the angle from Acid is held perfectly. They fall back into construction here. 3v3, but the health advantage to Noble. K9 Ghost has both taken a lot of damage. Yeti not watching the window, but he somehow, Crazy's able to get the kill. Trippin and K9 both basically tripping all over one another. There's still a lot of time, and they're going in for the Ninja Defuse. Trippin will get one. Yeti will refrag, but K9 taking down Crazy. This can all go south, as it's all up to K9. Will he have the time to jump in and go for the kill? He'll walk right into it. He will find it. Does he have enough time on it? There's barely enough to get this one done. Noble can get the 5-0 here, and yet he should have this one done and dusted. And there you go, the defense of Noble sets the 5th round on the board with a beautiful retake. Yet again, Yeti, the undisputable champion of this matchup for Noble, showing up round after round. And that dock was made for me and you.
That was a beautiful play by Yeti. Really fantastic. You know, let's I was about to say let's talk about the elephant in the room. And I didn't realize
they're not in the room, I guess.
I didn't realize what I was actually saying, but what I wanted to discuss was Noble's last match. And
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna go ahead and touch on it. It was overshadowed that Noble won against Mouse
Yes.
by the discussions that went on surrounding that win. And you know, say what you will, they did win.
Yes.
And they are in this position right now. They are competing to maintain their position in Pro League right now because they won there.
Yes.
No matter how you look at it, they won. Period. Now, right now, the reason that that's relevant to me is that Noble are playing like not only do they want to stay in Pro League, but they want to prove to people that they belong in Pro League.
It wasn't a fluke.
It wasn't a fluke. That's exactly it. And they're certainly proving that right now. I mean, okay, hey, first map of the series, it's not over yet. Elephant Gang could still win. We could see Elephant Gang win 5 in a row, win in overtime here, and then win the next map and just lock it out, be done. That could totally happen. But Noble are playing better than I've seen them play in a good long while. And again, I think it's them trying to prove that they belong. Because, yeah, after that win, I mean, people weren't talking about, hey, Noble won. That's not what people were saying after they won.
They were talking about the wrong thing, in my opinion. It's just, I think, again, it comes down to like the social aspect of a lot of things that happen in here, and you know, it kind of overshadowed the fact that they were actually able to do it and very handily.
And Noble right now are looking for that respect.
Yes.
And that's evident in the way they play, and it's awesome. It's great to see because it reminds me of the Noble we saw at the beginning of the season when
100%.
they were winning, when they were up 2-0. You know, they looked really good. And then just it all starts slipping away. And then maybe we're going to get that Noble back for the next season if they continue to play in Pro League. But again, I'll say it, it's not over yet.
Here's the thing. Noble, throughout the regular season of Pro League, played Clubhouse 3 times. They played once against Rogue, which was a 6-4 for Rogue, which was a tight game. Then 3 weeks later, at week 10, they lost to EG 6-0. And the last game was, again, the 6-2 win that they had against Mouse Sports on week 14. Which means that if you're able to punch up the Rogue at that level, there's something to be said there. Now, obviously, EG is EG, and maybe, you know, that was when EG was back after the Paris Major. They were on the resurgence, and they were pretty much ready to take that #1 spot to make it to Rio, which was the week that solidified their position. But still, doing damage against teams like, you know, like Rogue and defeating Mouse in that final playdate definitely shows that they have the opportunity to do so. And here, they're just manhandling Egang, but here, at least Noble will open up the outside. They use the Maverick pretty well. The mirror is available, but to no avail, I guess, here. Avian will get shot down. Breezy in the crossfire here against Ghost. But Ghost will win that one out. ZZ with the refrag. C4 will not connect. A bit of damage done, but not enough to clean up the kill.
That's a really bad blunder there for K9. ZZ will go down to Ghost, though, so nice and even at a 3 versus 3. Yeti control of Garage. Ghost from behind, though, wreaking havoc, and Crazy goes down. Excellent play on the flank. Being allowed to roam is what is getting Ghost so much success. Yeti pushing his way into the server, and Acid will go for a defuse plant. Yeti there to cover. Ghost could come from behind at any moment, and Yeti's just missing his shots. Acid going to stick the plant, but he will die immediately after. And the very first round for Elephant Gang.
This is some sort of saving grace for Egang to not get 6-0'd on this first map. And
I mean, it's all defense wins now after that, too.
yep, that's six rounds in a row that are all defensive rounds. There you go.
That could be why we saw Noble put themselves up in such an advantage. Maybe it just...
5 is just insane.
I mean, 5 is insane, yeah, but it could just be the case that neither of these teams are good at attacking on this map. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, especially against one another. I guess they have it on lockdown.
Elephant Gang won 2 attacks on their previous attempt of this map. 2. And it wasn't enough, obviously, to get them the win. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. So maybe it's just a bit of a risk. Or not a bit of a risk. Maybe it's just a struggle to win attacks on Clubhouse. I don't even know why I'm speculating. It is. It's a difficult one to win attacks on.
Yep. Yeah, Noble will switch around here and go for the tried and tested Thermite plus Hibana combo, as they realize the Maverick didn't really do too much for them in the previous round, and obviously you can't play on the same site twice in a row after having won it, so we can't go back to cash. So I would understand why, if you're expecting to go all the way down to church, you'll be bringing both the Habana and the Thermite. Again, we talked about this so many times. Habana opens up the hatches. The Thermite is there just in case she dies, but she also has an extra charge if needed to go for a last-minute take on church
push.
Yeah, there's just so much that you can do having those two.
The tunnel.
Operate. Yeah. We saw it in a previous matchup.
Yeah.
Where hey, you're gonna walk into the armory. Well, you can have the flank being set up from construction, or well, tunnel, and now we call it.
It's essential too.
Yeah.
Like, because if you don't have somebody coming in from tunnel and you're pushing through the kitchen drop and the armory wall, then you're gonna get torn to shreds by anyone playing back arsenal or back armory.
So there you go. That's why you bring the two, I guess. The Twitch being played here by Crazy. I guess we saw a bit of that for K9 as well. I'm not sure if Noble were expecting any sort of utility play or mirrors, so they can use their Twitch drone against it. But again, it's the F2, and the F2 is a great weapon to use, and then you have the extra utility on top of that. It just, there's a few different ways of, you know, playing and seeing the Twitch as an operator for your squad, even fall back on the Vigil and stick to the site, running the SMG, or the CZ75.
CZ75, definitely the more popular sidearm these days after that nerf to the SMG-12. ZZ will eliminate Neptune. So there you go. There's the momentum set. An unreinforced dropdown, curiously, in stock. That's going to allow for Habana to keep one of the charges, but actually, that's really bad. Okay, so that unreinforced dropdown just got the defense a kill. Instead of opening the drop with the Habana to begin with, they called for a Yeti to rotate into stock, and in the middle of that rotation, oh, look at that, there's a Trippin getting a kill. So great decision, I guess, for the defense to leave that unreinforced.
Obviously, it's a mistake from Noble in that position. I see why they wouldn't want to waste the next Kairos on a soft hatch, but at the same time, you have both hard breachers. You can kind of deal with it. There's no mute. There's no bandit.
There's no pressure to not waste hard destruction.
100%.
Whoa!
Crazy!
And Breezy getting kills of their own. Noble have regained momentum, but they're starting to see it stemmed a little bit by Ghost playing on the main stairs. He has downed the diffuser, and he will now be attempting to hold it, as is the sensible play, given the attackers are already working at site control and have the man advantage. Working up the main stairs, Breezy and Crazy looking for Ghost, who will peek wide but miss the majority of his shots. And because of that, Noble will push towards the site. K9 sees his teammate rotate back, and that's going to be the Ela inside of blue, a very powerful position, but he will die to ZZ as he makes a melee hole. K9 now in a 1 versus 3, diffuser being planted, and he cannot play time in this situation. Thatcher by Black Box gets the diffuser down. Over to blue goes K9, but this is not a great position because there are no rotation holes. What a shot through the wall. ZZ goes down, and the chances of winning this round just got a little bit brighter for K9, but it's still going to be difficult. Thatcher continuing to play by Black Box. On top of the diffuser. Inside of Moto is going to be your Twitch. And he will win the fight. Crazy takes the headshot and the first map with it. And we move to map number 2, Border.
Alright, that was beautiful team play there, coming out from Noble to clean things out. And honestly, it was so weird to watch. Like, somebody could probably put the Benny Hill music on top of that rotation to go up, grab the diffuser around the Ela, and run back down.
I gotta imagine that round could have played out so differently if Ghost had just played on the main stairs, dude. Play to your strengths. I don't know if he knew he had the diffuser down or not, but yeah, Ela, main stairs, that is gonna get you at least 1 kill. Okay, let's say 2 people push you at once, 2 attackers. They push you at once, you're gonna kill 1 at least, maybe 2. They might refrag you, but hey, that puts it into a 1 versus 1 for K9 later in the round.